Hi guys, and welcome to the last in the build videos of the Warbirds Replicas FW190. Now this video just tidies up some of the loose ends, the CFG, some ballast being added to the nose, checking over the connectors for the push rods, the clevises that is, and also a bit of a trial taxi on the lawn using a dolly that I made a couple of years ago for some EDFs and some pushers. So I'll now switch over to the videos and show the various elements as I went through them. Hope you enjoy. To measure the CFG, got a mark on the plane where it is. According to plans, it's 70 millimeters from F2, back from F2. Well, this is F2, there, the back of the cowl. So measure back 70 mil from there. Just put a pencil mark there and one the other side. About there. Now what I'm going to do is I look to find some glass pin round heads, but I've got my ordinary pins that I'm going to use. Just going to stick them through the wing skin, there and there. Okay, all will become clear in a moment. Let's just take the battery hatch off if I can. And I haven't got an ESC in here, so I'm just going to push my ESC into there, stick the battery that I'm going to be using in there as well. In fact, let's do that the other way around. Stick the battery in first of all. And stick the ESC in there. It's better. I've got to do it this way around because I need to turn the plane upside down. Stick the hatch back on. There we go. Okay. Right, let's just move the camera up a bit, because what I'm going to do now is grab hold of the plane, turn it upside down and feel for the CFG on those pins. And to be quite honest, that is massively tail heavy. Yeah, I think I've got a bit of a problem. I'm going to say a bit of a problem, a big problem. If I was to take that battery out, even if I was to stick that forwards as far as I can get it, let's just turn this upside down again. Rest it on there, and let's just, if I was to put the battery as far forward as I could possibly get it, now it's still massively tail heavy. So yeah, I need a lot of weight in the nose to counteract that. So I'm going to get some lead now and see exactly how much I need to put in the nose. It was fairly obvious it was going to have to be done, but I must admit, feeling that now, to my mind there's quite a bit of lead needs putting in the nose. Arguably what I could do is fit a bigger, heavier motor, of course, but that goes against, I bought the motor, the 3548, which should be ideal. So let's just see how much lead I need. So I've just tried some bits of lead, and that's the chunk of lead that I need to put in the nose to get the balance, and that is 217 grams, quite a bit. Having said that, the model weighs, with that amount of lead in it, the model comes out at, in imperial, 4 pounds 13 ounces, which, yeah, 4.5 pounds is what I was thinking it was going to come out at. So it's come out a bit heavier than that. Well, it's fine. I mean, it can take it. The model can take it, no problem at all. So, no two ways about it. I've got to fit that bit of lead in the nose of the plane to get it to balance at the correct C of G. What I want to do is be able to put that lead in and be able to remove it after I've flown the model, because that will determine exactly how much lead I need to go in. But this gets me to the safe C of G position, and I can go from there. So, got to find a way of putting that into the cowl now. Easily to get at. I mean, the logical place seems to be sitting right on top of the motor. There is a space there. Just move that around. You can just see that's where the lead is, where my thumb was there. Behind the bulkhead, sitting on top of the motor mount, so I can make a little bracket to go over there to hold it in place. So that is what I'm going to have to do. And looking at where the lead weight's going to go, as I looked earlier, it's going to have to go in here. So obviously what I don't want to do is to have it loose and bouncing around. So I have cut a laser box, a box out with my laser cutter. Let's just have a look at it. There, you'll see it there, which should hopefully house the lead weight. Get off. There we go. I'm just removing the cut bits. Let's take that back over to the workbench. Right. So that's the base. That's the front, and I've got some, obviously, two end pieces. There and there, and the back piece goes on like so. So there's the box, and the lid will go in there like that. And the idea is I'll put a strip of ply or beech or whatever there and screw through there, so that will hold the lead in place. Just make sure it fits, which it does. Nice fit. And then that, just move the model back into view again. Rotate that round, so that box will be stuck in there like that. And the idea being that I can get to the lead by removing the lid, and if I have to change the weight, I can do that. and then hopefully that will still fit in, which it does. Yeah, that's good. So I'm going to glue that in place now. The box is now all glued in there, just tilted on one side. Just open the screw a bit, and there's the lead nicely in position. So all I do is I just slide the lid in like so, and then just screw the retaining screw down in place. So that keeps the lead in position there. It can't obviously fall out. So obviously if I need to reduce the amount of nose weight, I can take the lead weight out, cut it, put it back in, and just make up the space with a block of balsa or foam or whatever, and that's fine. And it doesn't get in the way of the hatch. The hatch can still slide in place, no problem at all. So that's good. Other little jobs to be done. Mustn't forget that the clevises here need to have a bit of fuel tubing over them to stop them springing open, especially these plastic ones, because they're not exactly 100%. Well, I never trust them 100% without it. Now, if you've already put the clevis onto the push rod like that, you may think, oh, how the heck am I going to get a bit of plastic fuel tubing like that over the end of that? Well, what I do is, using a pair of long nose pliers like that, push the plastic tubing on, and hey presto, I can spring that apart and then slide that over the clevis just by opening the, there we go, and that's now over the clevis. Obviously pull that back so you can undo the clevis to get that back on the control horn, making sure that's pinched up tight, and then roll the fuel tubing back over it there. So that's a good job done. I've got to do the two in the fuselage and do the ailerons ones as well. I should have mentioned the fact that it can be quite difficult to open clevises up, so I've got this tool here. I make these and sell these. It's a set of tools. You get two for £1 plus delivery. You get a T-shaped one plus this right angled one, and it's ideal because it can just slot into the clevis there and just literally prise it apart, and then you've got the clevis there free to work on. Yes, you can use a screwdriver, but the problem is getting a screwdriver in at the right angle when you're limited space, and you could slip if it's on the outside of the plane and damage it. Hence the reason why I developed these. And if you haven't seen them already, I've been selling these stands that I make, these foam stands, for about £35, depending on whether a cutout's needed at the ends or not, which are ideal because you can just plonk your model on the field, in the field, in the pits on there, and the model is safely cradled. It's foam, so it doesn't damage the model. Ideal for working on taking the wing off or putting the wing on, working on the electrics, or whatever. So the stand is such that when I turn the model around, it supports the wings as well. So if I want to work at this end I can do that, so it's ideal. Flat bottomed so that it can go in the back of the car, and without toppling over you can safely transport your model to the flying site. So that's the end of the commercial plugs for today, what with the stand and with the clevis tools that I mentioned earlier. I'll give the as I say, the commercials a bit of a rest now. So practicing a bit of a dolly run, let's say. Bit bumpy. Oh, that works okay. Well, as you can see from the video, the snippets that I've been through, I've completed the build of the Focke-Wulf. And now it's down to the maiden flight. Now the weather is looking pretty poor for the next few days, which is a shame. Having said that, it's not too bad a problem, because there is a problem with the motor. The Overlander motor that I got for the model was just dead on arrival. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that until after I'd cut the motor shaft. So yeah, I can't really return it, but I've ordered another one and that should be coming through within the next day or two. I'll be able to put that in. Now it's now Tuesday. I'm hoping that the model will be ready, well, it will be ready, assuming the motor comes in, for flying this Saturday, because the weather does look pretty decent for Saturday for the maiden flight. So I will do the final chapter 30 of the maiden flight as and when that takes place. You know the drill, guys. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. If you like the video, please like it down below. Any comments, put down below and I'll get back to you. Until the next one.